Hello once again and welcome to another episode of The Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
Tim.
Brendan.
There we go. We got there. Sorry for being a bit quieter this week. It's just one of those periods of time where things haven't quite lined up. We're doing this one tonight. We're back again on Sunday coming up. But for now, we're here tonight to talk about a few things. We're going to chat about the latest releases from Quicksand, Warkings, and local band Dangerous Curves. Got a hot topic with a bit of a twist coming up, which is something we've never done before. We're going to try something very new tonight. And all the usual stuff, Ben and everything else. And if you've got any thoughts, feelings, whatever, get in the comments. Let us know. You can tune into this one via Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and whatever else we've got going on. So there's a lot there going here at the moment. So Instagram, that's there as well. So we've got a lot here. So everyone's jumping into the comments. Got some comments coming through. This is good. So thank you for joining us. But before we get stuck into things, details are in the description or the link or whatever you are tuning into this one from. So like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, all those things help us get the word out there. And a big thank you to our fantastic sponsors as well in Splitting Currency, Old Cult, Rockstar Finance. Please find them, give them a follow. Their details, just like ours, are in the description of the episode. Yeah, okay. I'll get to the comments in a section, but let's do the rounds. Let's see how everyone's going. So, Dave, how have you been this week?
Yeah, it's been busy, actually. It's amazing when you got absolutely nothing to do, how busy you can actually be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, work, home, but, trying to get stuff done around the house as well. And just work's busy, home's busy, kids are going a bit stir-crazy, so trying to keep them entertained and happy. And, yeah, apart from that, just listening to music and watching wrestling as normal. CM Punk's back in AEW, which is fucking great. That was so good. So good. And watched the documentary on Ric Flair last night. What I've been wanting to see for ages, 30 for 30, which is really good.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a great one.
Really interesting. Apart from that, just chugging along, trying to stay awake.
Yep, fair enough then. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, working hard or hardly working. Pretty much it. There's not really much else to do at the moment, is there?
Not really.
The other night I finished work after curfew and I felt like the biggest rebel driving home.
Yeah. How many times did you work?
It's just like, what a naughty, breaking the law.
Tell me you had that song playing out of the speakers. Come on.
Oh, God, breaking the law. I fought the law. Fuck the police, the whole lot.
Living after midnight.
Oh, fuck. That's it.
That's it, man.
That's the highlight of your week. Okay, cool. That's about what it is in lockdown, I guess.
Oh, it kind of sucks though because because usually I'll be swing by the servo, grab a drink. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What about you, Brendan? How's things with you?
Oh, it was nice on the weekend. The sun came out, so, went to a walk through the city with some of my closest friends, punched a horse, got pepper sprayed. It was good.
You made a difference.
To be clear, I was not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was nice to soak up a bit of sun. So look, springtime's in the air. So if nothing else, hopefully that will make everyone a bit happier and a bit more optimistic because there is still a bit of a sense of dread at the moment. But
yeah,
it's Look, happy days. Let's get on with it. We're all still here.
Yep. It could be a lot worse than it is currently. So perspective is important. Not much to report from this end. It is more of the same. I'm one of the lucky ones that gets to keep working. So keep doing that and doing what we do here behind the scenes and busy chopping up the next episode for Saturday night, which is a 2-hour special we filmed the other day, which is coming up very nicely, I must say. Looking forward to that one going away. And getting things ready for tonight and everything else in general that we're doing. Busy as always, but that makes the weeks just pass by nicely for me. The one downside is that, spring's in the air like you were saying, but what that does do is make the fucking lawn grow ridiculously fast. When it rains on the weekend, the same week, that just fucks it all up for you. So that's the downside to spring, but hopefully, but like you said, it is nice to see some sunlight, and it's nice to also leave home and come back and there's daylight aspect to it, whereas before in the dead of winter, you're leaving when it's dark and you're getting home when it's dark, and that's really fucking dreary. So it is all going well overall. All right, let's get to some comments here. So Sally's jumped in, our regular. So hey, Sally, good to see you here.
Sally.
Same with Nudes, our good friend Nudes. He's here with us as well. Beautiful. Benjamin's gone with saying this is good because it's 10:30 p.m. here in New Zealand. Yeah, you are a couple of hours ahead of us down there. So good to have you here with us once
One of my
again.
best friends lives in New Zealand at the moment.
Okay, cool. That's
They're
all
locked
right.
down too.
They are locked down too. So
locked down
we're
too.
all in this together.
And their lockdown's worse than us. They close all the fast food.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow. Fuck.
Wow.
There you go. Alrighty. Dean, hey lads, hope everyone is safe and rocking. So good to have you here with us. Thank you once again for joining us. Keith from Rautism over on YouTube. He's gone, hey dude. So good to see you here once again. And I chuckled at this one because Tim goes, hey guys, go Bombers. Yes, lucky you. Enjoy it.
You beat Collingwood. It's like beating charity side, man. Come on.
Yeah, but he is in the finals, and none of us here are. So, you know, he's got to enjoy that one. So enjoy it while you can, Tim. It's been a little while for you guys, so enjoy it. Take it in. Keith asked
since Essendon won a final, still hanging over their head.
Yeah, I know. It's still there. They haven't won it yet. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, you can get that one.
It's funny. You really want to play finals, right? And then as soon as you get to finals, you're just like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
that's when the stress really starts.
It's not nice.
Yep, this is true.
The grand final week is the worst week to be a football supporter.
Yeah, especially if your team's in it. That's the one.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Keith said when you were talking about being a rebel there, Tim, enjoyed the traffic on the way home?
Oh, mate. 10:30 at night, Frankston Freeway. It was absolutely no one there.
No. God.
It's bizarre.
That's a good drive then. Nicole on YouTube, evening also. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Mick, another Mick on Facebook. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good to see you here with us. What else we got here? Benjamin says, full-time job lockdown here. I've been running on chicken noodles and back catalogs. Well, yep, that's
Yeah.
that's one way to get through it. Sally says, no, there's no downside to spring, and that's fair enough as well. Good friend Sumaleth over on YouTube has jumped in to say hey, so good to see you here as well. And Ben is also saying mighty Dons. And Tim's rebutted saying better than not being in finals, which is probably true. We're all just very bitter.
It's true.
And at least you've got a coach, unlike us. So there you go.
And a president.
And a president.
And a captain not looking to leave.
Yeah, well, that's it. Just wrap it up. Fuck it, it's done. My God, what a shit show it's been of a year. Fuck it all. I mean, Pendles did come out and say he does want to stay, but it's like, yeah, fucking well done, dickhead.
After
I was going to say, at least you got the number 2 draft pick, but you don't.
And we are going to get Nick Dacos, though, so that will count number 1 and number 2, regardless. So someone will put a bid on him, and then we'll get him. So that will happen. All righty. Enough of the footy for those that are bored, like Dave sitting there going, what the fuck? The footy talk going on at the moment. Ben's going Joffa for Prez. I'm saying not bloody likely.
Not
a good idea.
No, not a good idea at all. So that ain't happening. Let's move on to something a bit more fun. We're going to try something new with the hot topic tonight. So this is a different thing. We're not sure how it's going to go, but we're pretty sure it's going to be a bit of fun while we do this one. So the idea here is that if you follow sports or wrestling like all of us do here, obviously, we're going to do a draft. So we've picked the Metallica albums Black, Load, and Reload. We're going to do 5 rounds. Here we go. Dave's got the little carousel going there. We're going to do 5 rounds. We're going to treat it like a draft, and we're going to try and compile a 5-song EP out of those 3 albums, each individual choices, and no song gets repeated. So once a song is taken off the board, that's it. So it goes bye-bye, and so no duplicates, no repeats. We get one shot at taking a song. So random draft order. We'll just see how we go with this one. So this is an interesting concept. We haven't done this one before, so let's see how we go to kick things off. Now, I'm the only one that knows.
And we're going to compete these picks.
Yeah, we're going to compete these later on. And the rule also is that we have to have at least one song from each of the albums. So there's a bit of a wrangling.
Yeah, the goal is to compile the best EP possible.
Mm-hmm. And once we do this, we'll put up some graphics over the next coming days on Facebook and Instagram and stuff and get people to vote for which one they think is the best. And we'll follow this up in a few days as well. So it's a bit of fun. We'll see how we go. Let's get into round 1. There's 5 rounds of this. Round 1, and to kick things off, we're going to go to Dave. So what are you taking off the board, Dave, first?
Beautiful. Spirit and Never.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Best song off that album.
All right. Cool. All righty. So next up then is Brendan.
Sweet, sad but true.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Nice. The truth.
The best song on the album.
Here we go. All righty. Then it's me. So, one of mine already got taken off the board. Thanks, Brendan. So, fuck you. So instead of the one that I really wanted, I'm going to go with Don't Tread on Me. That's my next follow-up to that one from the Black Album there. So that's my next choice. That leaves you, Tim.
What the strongest album is, my God.
Look, this is the equivalent of Michael Jordan going third in the 1984 draft. I'm picking Enter Sandman.
Okay, all right.
This is the undisputed heavyweight champion of Metallica songs, and it's not its most overplayed song, but it's a fucking great song.
It was a good song.
It is. It is a very, very good song. All right, cool. That's one round down. Let's see how we go. I'll get to the comments after I've got my notes here, so I can't see the comments coming through, but let's see how we go. This one is I'll catch up with things as we move along. All righty. Time for round 2. And Tim, you get to go back to back. So what are you picking for the next one off the board?
Next song. This is a perfect track too. This is 2x4.
Ah, very nice. Cool. All righty. So that means now it's my next choice. So I'm not going to let myself miss out on the next one that I want. So I'm going to go with The God That Failed. That's what I want next.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So now, Brendan, over to you.
Fuel.
Ah, okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. All righty. I'm just making some notes as I go along because it's going to be very hard for me to watch this back and get things done in time. So I'm taking it off as we go. So, Dave, let's finish off round 2. What have you got?
Bleeding Me.
Ah, nice.
Cool song.
Cool. All right. We're getting through them now. So round 3 kicks off with you, Brendan. What have you got for round 3?
Oh, Mama Said.
Ah, very good song. Very good song. Not bad at all. All righty. So I get to take the next one off the board, and I am going to choose. I'm going to go with Prince Charming. I like that one.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. There we go. So next one to come off is Dave. What are you taking off the board now?
Where the Wild Things Are.
Ah, okay, cool. Dave's
We
going
are
for a bit of.
strange people.
Yes, we are, and Dave's going for a bit more of the deeper cuts here, I think, on purpose. It's going to be interesting. So, Tim, that leaves you with the final choice for round 3.
Unforgiven 2.
Ah, all righty. Okay, this is a lot more diverse than I was expecting it to be. We've only crossed over once, I think, so far, which is okay, cool. This is a bit more interesting than I was honestly expecting it to be. All right, or at least more diverse. Anyway, so
the last 2 picks will still be there. This is going to be really odd.
I know. I thought more of mine would be gone.
All right. Should we go for a 6th round then?
Oh,
Well, wait till we get there.
yeah. Let's see how we go. We've got to get through round 4 and 5 first. So, Dave, kick off round 4 for us.
This is hard. We'll go Cure.
Ah, okay. Cool. All right. Next up for round 4 is you, Tim. What have you got next?
The second best song on the Black Album, Holier Than Thou.
Okay. Yeah, that is very cool. I do have that one high on my list. Not quite at the top, but it is up there for me. Okay. So, speaking of that, Brendan, it's over to you next.
The second best song on the Black Album, Wherever I May Roam.
Nah.
That's a good one too.
That is very cool. Very, very nice. There aren't many bad choices at all. So for my round 4 pick, I'm going to go with Wasting My Hate. I'm going to go with Wasting My Hate.
Nice.
Very cool. Nice one there. All right. So time for the 5th and in theory final round. Tim, what's your last choice?
Ate My Bitch.
Oh, okay.
You ruined that was my perfect 5. I thought I was going to get perfect 5 for my pick. Son of a bitch.
All right, cool. Now we're getting some spice into this one. All right, so Brendan, because you're on the clock, you're up next.
Get fucked. Shit. Jesus. This was really
Oh,
trying to get away. I really thought I would get that over the line. Shit. I might just have to go with Unforgiven, I think.
Okay. All right.
I am forgiven.
Yep. All right. So I lost one at the start, but I'm getting the rest of mine through. So for my final choice, I'm going to take Attitude off the board. That's my.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Which means Dave, bring it home.
Yeah, perfect closer to my EP is the perfect closer to the Black Album. Struggle Within.
Very cool. That is a very good choice, that one. All righty. So do we need a sixth round, or do we think we're good with 5?
Nah, 5's good. That were the rules.
All right.
Stick with
5's
the
good. All right. Stick with the rules. Cool. That's it then. All right. So those are our 5. Oh, wow. Okay. We got to, I haven't even seen the comments coming through with this. So I'm kicking over.
Did anyone pick King Nothing?
No, that's what I was just looking at. Going, shit.
Yeah, no, I'm picking nothing.
That would have been my next choice after that.
Yeah,
okay.
Either King Nothing or Ronnie.
Yeah.
Outlaw Bond's good. I was going to put that one.
I was thinking about Fixer. That's not bad. Or better than you.
Devil's Dance, Memory Remains, Carpe Diem, Baby's a great song.
Hero of the Day. Hero of the Day is one for me as well. I also think
I was thinking EP. I didn't want Hero of the Day and Mama Said on the same. EP.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, Nothing Else Matters didn't get picked.
No, it didn't. I'm not surprised at that, to be honest.
I was a bit surprised Enter Sandman got picked at all.
Yeah.
Hey, if this is going to a public vote, I'm going with the most popular song.
You win.
Yeah, I reckon Tim's going to win this one, just on that alone. Sally's gone through with God That Failed, Fuel. Nudes is on House That Jack Built as well.
Yeah.
So we've got these ones here. Benjamin said, I'm allergic to Enter Sandman due to my time working in a covers band being forced play 75 times. So you have my sympathy. Yeah. So when I was teaching guitar, that one was taught a lot. Sally says Outlaw Torn as well. David said, let the feast begin. So, yeah. Benjamin's gone, I still have no idea what the rules are. Well, neither do we anymore. It's over. Sally also said A Wolf and Man and King Nothing. So, we're getting some good ones here. David said, rules, what rules? This is true. And Benjamin said, get fucked is a universal time waster. So that was in response to you there. So there we go. Tim said, Devil's Dance, Memory Remains. Yep. And here we go. Benjamin says, Struggle Within was actually written about the contents of Kirk Hammett's wardrobe. So we're going off the rails already. So we're having some fun with that. I will put all this up as a post later on for those that are watching or listening to this one. So please do make sure you get involved with the voting on this. Is going to be coming along in the next couple of days when I put some graphics together for us. There's a lot of fun. We've enjoyed this one for a bit of something different. So we're going to try and change these hot topic formats up a little bit, and because we answer a lot of questions. So anytime everyone has a question, we answer those ones in these ones. So I figured we'll try and make these ones more fun, whilst we generally have the conversational side of things with the interaction in the comments. So please make sure you keep coming with the comments. Anything you want to ask or have your thoughts on, then keep them coming. But that was fun. It went actually pretty smoothly, all things considered, for the first time around. So we'll have to do this again with something else. And so if you've got a suggestion of what you'd like to do, this little a draft thing out of a concept with a few albums you want us to choose from, whatever else have you, or an artist in particular, let us know. Give us your thoughts out there. Let's see what else we can do with some fun for this one. All righty. Now, we'll let that one settle for a bit. We'll go on to our first review for the night, which is a local band. So in the comments or in the description or in the post, wherever it is you're tuning in from, whether you're watching live or listening later or whatever else have you, in the comments, in the post, you'll find a link for Dangerous Curves. That's the band, and the song or video is Good and the Bad. That is the lead single from the new album from this band. We did chat to the boys, and it was released on Bandcamp a little while ago, but they've only just recently dropped it into the streaming services, so we figured now is a chance for everyone to hear it, so we wanted to do this one at this time. So without any further ado, our first review for tonight is Dangerous Curves, Summertime Highs, 12 tracks for 44 minutes. The second album from the Melbourne band, released July 2021 independently, with streaming available in August. Produced by Chris the Melk at Monolith Studios, mastered by Tony Mance at Deluxe Mastering. 2 singles have been released in Living for the Now and Good and the Bad. This one comes after a lineup change at bass, and we also did an interview with them a little while back, so check that out as well. And I really hope that they get that launch kick they've had to put off twice now. So hopefully they can get that one sometime soon out of the way. But Tim, let's go to you first. How'd you go with this one?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, actually. A little bit of just a throwback classic hard rock album, you know. But at the same time, still sounding very fresh, really moving speakers and jumping off. Really high energy rock and roll. There's not really many down points. They saved the ballady stuff till right at the very end, which I thought was a smart choice.
Yep.
And the good thing is I found I didn't really get tired listening to it either, because there's more than enough ear candy to keep you interested, and there's some nice changes, you know, rhythmically as well, and some nice grooves to keep everything going. So I thought this was a really fun listen, and I really enjoyed it quite a lot. I gave it 8.5 out of 10, and I like it was my highlight.
All right, nice. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I remember all those years ago back at the Cranbourne studio when we reviewed their first EP.
Yeah, long way from that.
Yeah, they've come a long way. And, you know, we all liked that EP. Then they dropped their first album, So Dirty Right, and that was definitely a step up. This is leaps and bounds ahead of everything they've done. The band sounds great on this. Yeah, they've got to get that launch happening whenever the world goes back. Because I want to see them again. It's been ages. Title for this release.
Front at you, Dave.
Yeah, I was trying to block that from my mind. It's happened like 3 times now, and it's a bit traumatic.
I wish I had a phone and I was right next to it. I'm like,
yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of footage around.
Yep.
Yeah, and the title for this album is perfect. Summertime Highs. It's music for all the good things in life: summer, barbecue, trips to the beach, pussy, day drinking. It's all good.
Yep.
So many catchy choruses in these songs. Great hooks to the riffs. Solos are awesome, and the guitars have a fucking amazing tone on this.
Yeah.
Got to give credit to the lyrics throughout the album. He's really stepped up his lyric writing. For the most part, it's all sex and carefree party music, but some of the stories are really well told. And there's a few elements of seriousness as well, like the song Fallen Off. That was very well done. Had some very good wordplay on that too as well. From start to finish, this is one you can listen to over and over again. You know, it may not be summer at the moment, but this album is a perfect fake it till you make it, especially during lockdown. Just need feel good music, and this is what you want. These guys would be great on tour of Reckless Love. I reckon that whole package of those 2 bands together be a fucking great night. So I'm giving this 9 sweaty t-shirts out of 10. My standouts are In Those Eyes, I Like It, The Good and the Bad, Fallen Off, Pieces of Your Love, and Nightmare Games. But everything's great.
Nice. Cool. So, Brendan, is it 3 for 3 so far?
Certainly is. I loved it too. I didn't do much homework, so I'm glad it came out of Monolith and then mastered at Deluxe, which comes as no great surprise because it sounds fucking phenomenal. Really jumps out of the speakers. I was sort of comparing this, you know, and it may get me beat up, and I don't care. I was comparing it to the first Skid Row album. I thought it really there, and you know, as this sort of, you know, well-crafted songs, but kind of a happy listen. You know, like it's not all necessarily, you know, cheap and cheerful music and lyrics. Christ, it really, it really thumps and sounds amazing. I just thought it was great. Like the other guys, they both had it in their highlights, and for me, I Like It was the one that really jumped out for me. And if they're looking for another single, I reckon that's the one.
Okay,
cool. It's an absolute beast, and you know, I really hope they take my opinion with what it's worth, which is fuck all. But if they're looking for another single, I think that should be it. But I loved it. I also gave it 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it, and Living for the Now for me, it was great.
Okay, cool. Well, it's funny because not often that an album lives up to its title, and this one does. It's a summertime high kind of record. It's got that fun feel that you can feel the sunshine and the weather coming out of it, which is actually a really good trick to pull off when you're dropping it in winter. So well done to how well it's put together. And you can imagine that when the weather does warm up, when you get closer to Christmas and that here, it's going to be a fucking ripping album to put on if you're able to get out and, get it down by the water and stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot more to this other than just the fun, which has been covered off. There's a bit of darkness and some more serious tones on this. The lyrical work on this is their best yet by a long way. And they've, matured a fair bit on this one. And even the fun, the party, the sex stuff, that's delivered in a different way. That's still a little bit more, it's a bit more subtle. It's a bit more in depth and it's more intelligently done. So I don't know. I enjoyed the growth in the band on this one. The performances match that all perfectly. The new edition fits in just fine. And the hooks, the energy, like the songwriting itself is fucking brilliant on this. Combine that with a beautiful mix. The Melko has done it again. Same with the mastering on this one. The tones on this are glorious, but I liked how there's a lot more detail on this when you give it a deep listen. Things like cowbell on I Like It. That little cowbell just ringing through it nonstop was really cool. That's just one. And there was like a forget what it is, but it's like a rattlesnake thing in that song as well. So little details just here and there which show you there's a bit more thought overall that's gone into this one from top to bottom, and it's all incredibly well executed. Really love the mix, love the songs, love it all. I think that Good and the Bad is, fuck me, probably one of the best songs I've heard this year. That hook is fantastic for mine. I reckon that should be that is a perfect song to cut through to radio anywhere in the world. If you have anyone following rock radio at all, that is a song that should be tearing up the speakers now. It's fucking brilliant. But I like how they switched from that one to the title track. It's like a perfect 1-2 punch because Summertime Highs is one of those fun songs that really does change the gears on the album. It makes this whole thing, the flow on this is brilliantly done with the peaks and troughs and stuff. Like I could go into detail with all sorts of on the production. I'm not going to because I fucking love it, but there's some great reverb panning and other stuff in this. It's like fucking awesome mix. But like I said, the album flow is great. Between these guys and Shotgun Mistress, I think rock is really making a return. So these guys, Shotgun Mistress, Ablaze. For a while there, it was a bit quieter on the rock side of things. Metal was really put to the front in Melbourne. Now these guys are sort of bringing back that rock thing, because after Electric Mary, they're still around, but they're not quite at that same height they were before. And there was this drop-off, which was massive overseas, and there's a whole lot of bands that sort of dissolved. And now you've got this push coming up again. So it's just like a nice little resurgence happening now, which is brilliant to see. But I did like on this one too, the storytelling on things like Falling Off, Pieces of Your Love also are good in that regard, but also a bit of darkness on tracks like Nightmare Games. And there's a lot of different stuff in this, different group, different tempo. It's a really nice album to listen to. Basically, if you like it melodic yet rock, and this is one you've got to check out for sure. About the only little odd spot I found in this one was a little, 90-second instrumental track at the end, SJS. It was kind of like being on the outside of an insider's joke. I wasn't quite sure what that was about, but anyway, this is a fantastic record. Top 10 contender for me for this year. I love it to bits. 9.5 out of 10. Good and the Bad, Pieces of Your Love, and Nightmare Games are my standouts on this one. I really, really did fucking enjoy this. Alrighty. And so did David James, it looked like, because he's gone, hey, that was pretty cool. So awesome. Glad you checked it out. Glad you enjoyed it. Check out the rest of the album. It's on all your services now. And if you really enjoy it, then support the band by purchasing it via Bandcamp. Love the local bands here. All right. Let's move on to Quicksand next. Hopefully this isn't going to dick with anyone's order, but we'll do Quicksand next because that's what I've got on my notes. So the reference track is called Colossus, which is a in-studio live track they've done. The band is Quicksand. The track is Colossus. That's your reference track for the next review we're doing now. So we're going to roll on through, and this is Quicksand with Distant Populations. 11 tracks for 33 minutes. 4th studio of the American band, released August 2021 via Epitaph. Produced by Will Yip at Studio 4 Recording in Pennsylvania. 3 singles have been released, including Inversion and Missile Command. This album follows on from the last album in 2017, but the album prior to that was released 22 years earlier. So if this gets your attention, if you like this one, there is a vinyl release coming in late September for this one as well. Let's go to you first, Brendan, on this one.
This kind of felt like it was chewed up and spat out of the 90s, and I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, but it's got that kind of post-grunge thing, it's sort of a bit, you can hear a bit sort of Nirvana, you can hear a bit Pixies, it's, so you're not going to get shredding guitar solos, and at times it's a bit sludgy, but it does wake you up at periods through the album as well. It's not monotone or boring. It's certainly interesting. I'm tipping Dave hated it, but that's okay. That's only my tip. It's only a tip. I could be wrong, but let's see. I didn't hate it. It's not something I'm going to be going back to over and over again. I think it sounds good. I think it was well done. I think it was well written, but it wasn't really my wheelhouse. Like I said, it sounded that very 90s post grungy thing for me, which didn't excite me then. It doesn't particularly excite me now. But well done, well performed, well played. Songs well written, lyrics really good.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, it's just that actual sort of song structure. I would have liked a bit more. I don't know, a bit more development, a bit more light and shade through some of the songs. They do sort of go, but it's also very easy listen because it's all over and done in. Would you say 33 minutes or something? So it does
something like that. Yeah, 33.
Passes pretty quick. It's cool. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not going to be a heavy rotation in my house, but I'd never get up and turn it off. So I'll give it 7 out of 10. EMDR and Lightning Field were the ones for me. Thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, not life changing.
All right. So, Dave, was Brendan right? Did you hate it?
No, I didn't hate it.
Hey.
I've never heard of them before at all. And flicking through their Spotify page, there's a whole bunch of bands that fans will also like. I've never heard of any of those either. So I was like in a completely new world where music was completely foreign to me. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Riff-driven rock. It doesn't have too many changes throughout the songs, but it keeps that constant driving pulse to keep the listener hooked. And it's kind of hypnotic in a way, but it does manage to build slowly towards the end of the songs. So they're only like 3-minute songs, but they slowly get where they're going. You jump from about 2.5 minutes back to the start. It's like, oh, it did change. Like, okay. But the songs, because they're short, they don't overstay their welcome, so that's kind of cool. And it's all paced and deliberate. They do find their groove and they stick to it. Wikipedia classes them as post-hardcore.
Which I found odd.
I don't get hardcore in this at all. I'd say like atmospheric alternative rock at anything.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not my world. It's not really a solo, but there's a song called Phase 90, and they use some harmony notes in that, and I thought that added an extra layer to that song. I thought that was pretty cool. And the songs within the album are diverse enough with the tempos to make it an interesting listen. It's paced and it's kind of slow, but there's enough diversity between the songs to make it an interesting half-hour listen. As Brendan mentioned, it's not going to focus on flashy musicianship, but what they do does serve the songs. There's a nice shift of energy towards the end of the song, EMDR. And have to credit the drum sound throughout the album. That was really kind of holding everything together. There was one song called Compacted Reality that could have been compacted right off the fucking album. That was a completely unnecessary minute. Not needed. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. Colossus Phase 9 and the initial song, EMDR, was my standouts.
All right. Cool. All right. So, Tim, how did you go then?
That was fascinating to watch those two reviews.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I'll tell you why, right?
Yep.
Because it shocked me to find out they have an album 22 years ago, right? Because I listened to this album twice, and both times I listened to it, all I could think was, this is White Pony by the Deftones with a different vocalist.
Yeah, I did get a lot of that about it. Yep.
That's exactly what this is. The same droning 7-string guitars. It's the same drums with a groove and just that soaring vocal on top. The only difference is he doesn't have as high a pitched of a tone. He's got a much more, sits more in that mid-range register, so it makes him a much more accessible vocal sound. So he doesn't have to sit as far back. Doesn't have that tight poppy snare drum.
Yep.
A little bit more accessible sound. And when you produce the band like that, it sounds like this. Songwriters are the Deftones, right?
Yeah.
So that's why that was really fascinating for me to sit back and watch those two reviews, because I can't unhear the Deftones in this band, right? Right? And that nobody picked it is interesting, because we've done Deftones reviews as well on the show, and they never really go very well. So that was very fascinating to watch. So if you've ever, because I like the Deftones quite a lot. And if you've ever thought, that they were boring, or perhaps it's just a harsher vocal that you're not really a fan of, then you should probably check this band out.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I've compared them to the Deftones, but I mean that in the highest compliment because, again, I really like the Deftones. I think they write incredible songs, and I think this band wrote very good songs as well. But yeah, that was a wild ride watching that. Anyways, 8 out of 10, Colossus and Phase 90 were my highlight.
Okay. Cool. Well, I did pick the 90s out of this one. That is a big thing. But I got Deftones, a bit of Soundgarden in this, but I also got a little bit of Killing Joke as a sonic sort of thing on this one as well. More to do with the vibe.
but that specific type of Killing Joke that sounds that plays that droning 7-string guitar with that hip-hoppy groove behind it.
But that's where I listen to more Killing Joke than I do Deftones, so I guess that's the reference point for you there. But yeah, if you like the 90s but not focused in grunge, I think this is one to check out. This is more of the alternative side of things in that regard. You get the little offbeat accents, which are nice on this. They use groove and tempo really nicely, and that's what it's more about on this one than anything else. You get the moments here where they use space nicely to break things up, brings dramatic impact. Colossus has this tiny little moment where they just really heavily filter the drums through an EQ, and those are little details in this that really break things up in the songs. And I thought that attention to detail was really nice on this one, both in composition and also in the way it was produced. I think the lyrical work is the highlight element on this one for mine. They got a lot to say. It's moody, it's intense, and I think that's offset nicely by the use of melody on this one. And that mood overall is carried over nicely into slower moments like Brushed. That song puts me in a little bit in mind of things like Burn from the Crow soundtrack by The Cure. And little use of things like acoustic and the reverb, and that was really nicely done across this one too. I thought the gear changes were good. The track order flowed nicely. I thought the production was nice for this style of music. The vocals sat really nicely in this mix, which is where what Tim was saying before about if you're not into the Deftones because of the vocal, but the music gets your attention, this is a band you really should check out because the vocals are a much easier vocal to take in, and they just really sort of shine a bit more on this one, which is really nicely done. I like how the guitar was a bit more top-end focused rather than anything else, sort of filled out the bottom end nicely. And I thought the performance was really solid across this one too. I thought, like, Dave said compacted reality should be compacted right off the album. But I thought that it actually brought something nice in the context of the overall list. And I thought, those little moments, the little things that did to use space between within the songs, but also from changing the gears, was all the little things for a half-hour listen really made this one flow really nicely. So I thought everything about this was pretty important. If you like modern takes on things like the 90s, so if you like, for example, the last Cicadist album, this might be another reference point for you to get into as well. But I think that it's odd how they've got a little bit of an obsession with Japanese things on this one too. Katakan and Rodan, for example, are a couple of weird Japanese references that I Googled to go, what the fuck are they talking about? So yeah, there's one for you. If you're interested in that sort of stuff, if you're into that world of things, then yeah, you'll know more about it than I do. But I think this is a good little listen. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's not one you will put on over and over again, but it's a nice short listen that does break things up nicely for you as you go through things. It will be one you won't spin on repeat, but it is one you put on semi-regularly, I reckon, if you enjoy it. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. I did like this one. And Colossus, Brushed, and Lightning Field are my standouts on this one. So some different takes on this one here. So Sally asked while we're going through this one, does anyone else hear the Foo Fighters? And she did correct the typo in that one. So I didn't really get Foo Fighters in that one. Did anyone else get that?
No.
No. All right, cool.
Maybe like, maybe a bit of like Best of You kind of vibes.
Yeah, possibly. I can see why you make that link. Yeah. What do we got here? Benjamin said the Deftones are like Wayne Statics' hair. You know it's wrong, but you can't stop looking at it. Okay. All righty. We're getting some fun here tonight. All right, got one review to go. Let's keep rolling on. What do we got here? So in the comments, in the description, all that, you know the deal by now. Check out what we're putting up next. We're putting out the band is Warkings, and the song is We Are the Fire. I think this clip only dropped a couple of days ago, or yesterday or something like this. It's a brand new clip with a lot of pyro in it. And if you're familiar with the project, you know what you're getting in for. Otherwise, let's get into it. This is Warkings with Revolution. 10 tracks for 41 minutes. The third studio album from the German Swiss Austrian band, released August 2021 via Napalm Records. 3 singles have been released, including Fight and Spartacus, with the latter having a guest spot from The Lost Lord. For those listening, that was in inverted commas. This is a band that leans heavily into the gimmick, with the band members listed as the Viking on bass, the Spartan on drums, the Crusader on guitar, and the Tribune on vocals. So, Dave, let's go to you first.
Oh, fuck, this is going to be fun. I see the other two guys laughing already. Oh, well. Viking warrior metal. It's very well performed and composed. The songs are a lot of fun. They had enough different textures and styles to make this an interesting duration of the listen. This makes me want to go to Ballarat and walk around Kroll Castle. Have you ever been there? I would love to do that with this on earplugs. Just maybe have a sword or something and just...
You going to wear your furry underwear?
Yeah, why not? To get out the Manowar as well and just kill some tourists. Either that or to sit back at Netflix and watch Norseman. Fantastic show. It takes the piss out of Vikings. It's fucking great. Yeah. But I'm sure some people are going to think that this is for nerds, and it probably is. The whole warrior power metal thing cops a lot of shit. But hey, Game of Thrones was popular a few years ago, and I really don't see the difference. In fact, I actually prefer this whole warrior shit in music than I do the TV shows. The singer sounds a hell of a lot like Tony Keiko from Sonata Arctica. So much so I had to actually try and do some research on this band, and actual real names are kind of sketchy, but the singer is Georg Neuhauser, I think, from Serenity. Yeah. So it's not him, but fuck, he sounds exactly the same. So if you like Sonata Arctica, you're going to like this band. If you like Nightwish, you'll like Sonata Arctica. Yeah, Nightwish are way better than these guys. That's not to say they're bad. I don't know how I explain that. Anyway, I don't know if he's handling the harsh vocals as well as the clean ones, but if he does, he's pretty good at both.
No, it was just the one guest spot. Just the one guest spot on that one. That was that guest spot I mentioned before.
Cool. Yeah, guitars are great, and the keyboards are used to fill out the space a little bit. Solo's really fucking cool, really well played. The song Ragnar has some nice female vocals at the start of that song too. I thought that set the mood really well.
It did.
Yeah, the image and style is one thing, and these guys can certainly play on top of that. And I think they perform in the full costumes, and I'm sure there's lots of pyro in their things. If I saw them first, I might have been blinded by the whole image. It might have been a bit too much, but listening to this first, this is some pretty impressive stuff. It's not really a concept album, but it kind of flows like a movie. It's got their theme and gimmick, and it kind of plays out like a story.
It's like Fantasy Zabaton.
Yeah, exactly like that. And, it gets towards the end, and the last song starts off with this calm, almost seductive thing, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, the battle's over. Time to go home for a root. And then the mood shifts, and it's like there's a sneak attack, and I had to check the name of the song. It's called Where Dreams Die. I'm just like, yep, fuck, bad ending for these guys. They get wiped out at the last moment. Sad ending, but still fun listen. 8.5 out of 10. Fight Spartacus, Ava Rowan, Ragnar, and Where Dreams Die.
All right, cool. Brendan, how did you go then?
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, not here we go at all. I saw Warkings, I saw the image of the album, I started listening, and I was pretty bloody impressed, to be honest. It sounds huge. Huge.
Big sound.
Yeah. And I was sort of like, okay. And there's enough riffing and there's enough sort of chugging guitar in there. And I'm like, okay, I'm interested. And the solos are amazing.
Lead
and
work
a bit
is
like
brilliant.
Dave, I'm glad I listened before I looked.
Yeah.
Because I know how my pea brain works. If I hadn't looked first, I would have had a preconceived idea and it probably would have ruined everything for me.
Yeah.
It certainly didn't. These guys are really fucking good.
Yeah, really, okay.
It's it's silly and it's nonsense and all that kind of stuff. But if you sort of put that aside and just listen to it musically, if you like your metal, there's not much in it I like. It is well played.
Yeah.
The sound is phenomenal and it just keeps driving. And yeah, you might find a few flat spots along the way that don't appeal, but yeah, gee, I
sorry, I've got some comments that are just making me laugh, but go.
I like this a lot more than I would have had I have known what I was going into, which goes to show that we're all a little bit biased when we think we know what we're about to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a really good album and really well played.
Nice.
Should check it out. Like, you know, storytelling in it. Yeah, okay. It is what it is. It's a bit cheesy, you know. But you know, I can go see Barbarian play in Melbourne and have a great night.
Yeah.
And I imagine these guys are not far different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. I liked was it Douce La Vault? I thought was an amazing.
Yeah, that's
track.
a good one. Yep.
Really dug it. And We Are the Fire. I gave it 8 out of 10. It's hard not
Nice.
to like. You know,
Okay.
it might not change your life, but it was cool.
All right.
It
Okay.
might change some people's lives.
Mine.
Take up the borrowing of the Viking lifestyle.
Alrighty. So, Tim, where'd you land with it?
I remember, you know, back in the day, I was in year 12, and me and my friends decided to go to the movies, you know, and it's a very popular movie at the time. I remember the first time I saw 300.
Yep. Yep. We are Sparta. Yep.
And we all walked around saying, "This is Sparta. Tonight we dine in hell." We remember the Disturbed song. We remember I had the Frankenbach hoodie. Still around here somewhere. And I heard that song and I just laughed. I laughed so hard. Because it's like that was the biggest throwback I've heard in a long time to a movie from 12 years ago that I don't even think is on any streaming service anymore.
Yeah.
Because every fucking metal band wanted that line because they're like, that is such a cool line. It was the most metal movie for a year and then it fucking disappeared.
Yep.
And then here come fucking Warkings. It's like this movie just got released into German language. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Tonight we dine in hell.
Oh, God. It's like the Arnie version.
Brilliant. Look, and to be honest with you, I couldn't take it seriously after that. These guys are great. They can play. There's great riffs all over it. Just don't take it too seriously. It is what it is. You know, this is not meant to be, you know, guys showing off, crying their heart outs on stage. It's just meant to be a little bit of fun, and that's all it is. Yeah. And that's all you should treat these kind of bands. And that's all they're trying to be. And it is what it is. So, you know, if you're partial to you know, even guys like, you know, Ailstorm and things like that, then, you know, check it out. Have an open mind and you'll probably enjoy it. But yeah, fucking Sparta 2, of course that's the highlight. Fucking brilliant.
So what'd you give it out of 10?
8.
8. All right, cool. All right, I've got some comments coming through, which are some funny stuff. I'll get to those in a second. Just let me finish up my little bit here. Look, yeah, it's been said before. You can't take this too seriously. It's funny because we share a video when doing these ones as you reference tracks, and it's one of those ones where probably watching the video is not the best thing to do. You want to listen to it before you watch it, just because the gimmick might be a bit over the top. But at the same time, if you like your sort of battle metal at all, this can be one you want to check out because they do this stuff very, very well. You're going to get the people who are going to roll their eyes at this stuff because the lyrics are going to be way too cheesy, but the musicality, the performances, the vocals, along with the lead work, fucking brilliant. Really solid stuff on this. From the opening track, you get a lot of more surprising use of hooks than you expect. There's big chanting moments, which you do expect that sort of stuff for the festival setting. But the chanting moments and the hooks they've got are really infectious. Like Tim was saying, Spartan. Like that fucking song is just, you can hear it straight away. They write some good earworms. They know what they're doing. They do it very, very well.
I'm not sure they wrote that earworm.
No, well, but the thing is, the way they incorporate it into their song and the way that is intelligent, but then the rest of their stuff lives up to that sort of kind of thing. So they did a very good job with this one too. And there's a lot more different tones and flavors in this one as well. There's some good little different instruments on this one. And the production has been said, it's fucking big and punchy. This sounds fucking huge. Really meaty guitar tone on this one. That really does make this one stand out a bit. And when they crank it, this thing kicks really nicely. It doesn't clip, not over the top. It's just really well done. Some nice layering under this one. Some, I think that, the tonality and the composition really make this one really interesting, and it all is. It's one of those ones where, there's a bit of fun and don't take it too seriously, but at the same time, the musicality side, the composition, the performance, that sort of stuff, the way they mixed it and all that side, like, don't take the lyrics seriously, don't take the gimmick seriously, but the craft itself, fucking bang on, really well executed. I thought the guest harsh vocal on Spartacus worked nicely. It was a good little counterpoint. They didn't overuse it either, which was really good on this one. And the lead work was great. But I thought the rhythm on this one, the rhythm section, really did drive and punch this along nicely. You get all the cheese you do expect from this sort of music. But at the same time, this one doesn't double down too heavily into it either. It's not one of those ones where you feel like, fuck, more comments. It's one of those ones where you feel like, when Man of War, you feel like they believe what they're saying. These guys know it's a gimmick and that's sort of done with a wink and a nod kind of thing, so they're not taking it that seriously either. So, you're in it for the fun of it. You like, the European power metal, battle metal style. You're in for this at a festival. It'd be fucking great to see live. I reckon it'd go really, really well if you're at a European festival. This would go off. So really well done. But I liked how they put the slower track at the end of the album too. I thought that was a nice touch. Nice way to wrap it up. I think it's worth a listen. It's a solid fucking record. And even if you're a bit skeptical because of the whole, battle metal stuff, the fur underwear kind of thing, this has the writing, the performances, and the production should be enough to really actually make you think twice about that, presupposition you might make about this kind of music. So do check it out because it is worth a spin. I gave it an 8 out of 10 as well. I really did like this one a lot more than I probably thought I would to begin with, but it's really, really catchy, really well done. Like Brendan, Deus Lo Volt, that was a cracker of a song, that one. But also picked Ave Roma and Where Dreams Die as my other standouts on this one too. So there we go. Probably a bit unexpected. I didn't think that one would go as well as it did, but pretty unanimous there. All right, cool. So now to the comments, because I got a few here which gave me a few chuckles along the way. Benjamin said, sounds like the Village People of 2021. So that's one reference.
Weird.
Yeah, well, there we go. Tony,
now there's something. Warkings doing Macho Man.
Oh, that would be funny. Actually, that would be really cool. I would pay to see that.
By the way, we should actually. Someone should play Macho Man.
Yeah, metal, do a rock and metal cover of that, please. Someone do that one. That'd be a lot of fun. We should get Lord to do it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm up for it. Tony, thanks for joining us. Said, what the hell did I just watch? How can you dress like that and have a voice like a mouse? For fuck's sake, need a roaring voice with that garb. Fair enough. That's one way to look at it. Sally said, you got to love a drummer that's wearing a Spartan helmet. The guitar sounds good and it's got its own thing going on, but it's not going on in my house again.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Benjamin also said, I have a friend in the band Vanquisher. This is musical theatre fuckery. And he went back to the well by saying, I'm going to blame Wayne Static and be done with it. But he didn't stop there. He also followed up with, Man of War has a lot of bullshit to be held responsible for. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think this one, we'll wrap it up on that one. Tim said, it's like the life of Brian goes metal.
I like that.
We should do a metal version of Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
We should.
That would be a lot of fun as well. Be fucking out there to do it, but it'd be entertaining if nothing else.
It ended up being a power ballad.
Yeah.
It probably,
Which is
actually,
which is not the best thing, I don't think.
We could do a metal version of Every Sperm is Sacred. We're going to change.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Just open it up with a dodgy voiceover. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
Just to set the tone very nicely. Get Tash to do that bit. That response was everything. It was so subtle but so good. For those that can't see it, Brendan's face was fucking priceless in the moment. That was well played. All right. I think that's it though. I think we've gotten to the end of this episode pretty smoothly. So thank you everyone out there for tuning in. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, all the usual things, because it is the best way to help us get the word out about this sort of stuff. If you feel like following us on all of our platforms, all the details are in the description. opposed to this one. So like, follow, subscribe, all those things that are there while we keep Tim awake for 30 more seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's a hard week when
Been
you're driving
crazy.
home being a rebel. But the going back to the start there. But yeah, we'll be back again on Sunday with our next stream. And a big thank you, of course, to our fantastic sponsors in Squidding, Screen Printing, Old Colton, Rockstar Finance. Please find them. Give them a follow. Their details, just like ours, are in the description or the post wherever you're tuning into this one from. If you're not here watching it live, then get involved in the comments. If you're tuning wherever you are, we do appreciate taking the time with us. Hopefully we've entertained you for about an hour with this little broadcast here tonight. And yeah, like I said, back on Sunday for a stream. But Thursday night, Channel 44 in Adelaide, we're at 10:30 p.m. And you can see that one also on CTV Plus. That's the new website which is launched for community television. And also check us out on Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. Channel 3 in Melbourne and Geelong, because we have a 2-hour special going to air, which is where a few of us got together and went through some of our favourite songs for the last decade. So Brendan, Dave, and myself did that one the other day, and it's coming together nicely. So that'll be done over 2 parts from next week in Adelaide, but this Saturday night. It's on Channel 31 in Melbourne with a marathon to follow it. So tune in to that one on the TV screens. I think that's it. We've got the bin to go to, I think, in a second. So let's get that done now. Let's go to the bin. Let's have the fun part here. What do we got? So let's go to you first, Tim. What are you putting in the bin tonight?
Jesus, man, that's so much. Put in the bin.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Okay, so here's the deal, right? I'm not going to put him in the bin, right? But I'm going to put him bin adjacent because I can't put Scott Pendlebury in the bin.
Yeah, okay. I feel your pain there.
Right, but here's the deal, right? Like, you got a young list. It had a shit year, second from bottom.
Mm-hmm.
We got no coach. We've got no president, and we need a little bit of leadership. Right, especially when you got a young list, things can go either way. You're either going to get better or you're going to stay in exactly the same spot, and then we're fucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you got no coach, when you got no president, the captain who's been there since he was 17 years old is the leader of the club, and it's not a very good look to go around and say, oh, I'm looking for a coaching job somewhere else. Which, don't get me wrong, he should be looking for a coaching job somewhere else afterwards.
Yep.
He's got to think of a life after football, especially at his age.
Yep.
But the thing is with Scott Pendlebury is he doesn't need to say it. He's been a captain of a club for a long time. He's one of the best players I've ever seen in my entire life.
He'll be beating off the offers later on. He'll be pushing them away. You'll have too many to choose from.
Exactly. The second he retires, he's going to get a coaching offer from 18 different clubs and a media offer from about 15 different media organizations. He does not need to. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't need to shop around for offers. And that's what was annoying about it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially at a time when – and the reason I feel bad, again, he's – like a lot of there are people who've been watching Collingwood a lot longer than me. They say he's the best player that they've ever seen play black and white.
He's up there.
I don't know if I'd say that, but I mean he's right up there. But he hasn't put a foot wrong in 17 years, and we've seen plenty of players put foot wrong, put plenty of feet wrong in that time. But that's why I feel bad doing that. But I was very disappointed to see that.
Yep. Fair enough. I do feel the pain on that one. All right. Dave, let's wake you up because you always blank out when the footy gets brought up. So let's go.
Are we back? Are we? That was a good commercial break. Okay. Okay. It's bad enough when you go on Facebook these days and you see all the bullshit, paranoid propaganda being spread. But now I'm copping it in my letterbox.
Yeah.
Someone in my neighborhood on 2 occasions now has posted something in our letterbox, spreading their bullshit, lots of QR codes, lots of paranoia, and it doesn't take all that much when you flick through it to tear this shit apart. And obviously people don't have very much going for them if they got to sit around and do all this shit. So, in the bin, and yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Brendan, are you going to go serious or funny with this? What have you got?
Oh, no, go serious and try to put a funny spin on it. The people that don't seem to be able to make the distinction between everyone has a right to an opinion and everyone's opinions are not equally valid.
Yeah.
You can have an opinion. That doesn't mean anyone has to listen to it, respect it, and it doesn't make you immune from ridicule. I've got opinions on lots of shit I have absolutely no right to have an opinion on. I've got opinions on if I do have a right to have an opinion on, you have to be able to make a distinction between the two. You know, if you are a librarian, you can talk about books. I look after swimming pools, so I can talk about that. None of us can talk about, you know, immunotherapy.
That's why we don't have doctors doing this show.
Yes, that's right.
We have musicians to do this show.
Yeah.
Basically, when it comes to having your opinion and sharing with your friends, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But if you're going to stand on a soapbox and fucking make a lot of noise and expect that you're not going to get shouted down when you say something fucking stupid, then you're fucking stupid. You can get in that old round receptacle there and fucking stay there.
Yeah, let's see if we put some square pegs in this round hole. All right, so, all right, on to my bin then. We've got some audience comments here too, so I'll get to those in a second. But for my bin, I'm actually putting myself in the bin. I'm going to try and bring this home with a lighter note, because you see, because we're putting together this 2-hour episode for Saturday night, I'm going through old libraries, and if anyone knows anything about editing across different libraries and different hard drives, it's a fucking nightmare. So I'm putting myself in the bin for not editing shit better, not sorting my fucking files out, and for not getting enough of the content out there so I have to fucking go through it all like I have to at the moment. So myself in the bin for not getting shit done. But hey, on that note, I need more time to do it. So if you want to help me out, check out our Patreon page. It'll allow me to do more. But yeah, myself in the bin for not getting shit sorted out just over the decade I've been doing this thing. My filing system has changed a half dozen times, and I never just clean it up properly. So that librarian thing, not me. There we go. Alrighty. So for the audience here, we've got some comments here, which is nice. Benjamin said, get Slayer to cover Louis Armstrong's It's a Wonderful World. That would be an interesting take on things. But Nicole said, thanks, guys. Funny night indeed. So glad you enjoyed it. Tony, the same. Thanks again, guys. Great fun. Awesome to hear.
You know, Louis Armstrong would have a hell of a heavy metal voice.
He would. He really, really would. He would have fucking smoked it. That is dead right. For Benjamin over in New Zealand, level 4 lockdown in the bin. Yeah, we feel you. We know all about that over here. Man Family on YouTube, another one there. So Demons on top of the ladder, nice, cool show. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and well done to the Demons for that kick after the siren from Maxi Gorn. That was one hell of a
it was entertaining shit, that's for sure.
Well, who left him alone? Oh man.
I know. I
That's
saw
true.
the play, and it's like, what the fuck were you doing? But hey, there you go. Before
Who'd have thought you'd miss Max Gorn?
Yeah.
I know, right? Anyway, moving on before Dave falls asleep on us. Dimebag lawsuit in the bin from Benjamin, so I'm not sure what happened there, but okay.
Guitar thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I did see something about that. Yeah. Sally says, I've lost my muse. Creativity at about 2 out of 10. That can go in the bin. Board. That sucks. When that happens, that's really shit. So, yeah, I do feel your pain there. Sumaleth goes, if you review albums on YouTube, are you technically a YouTube reactor? I don't know what the fuck to call us, to be honest.
We are pretenders, to be honest.
Never was. That'll do as well, won't it? Never was. Yeah. There we go.
We're people who
Keith,
criticize albums that we wish we wrote.
That's it. That's pretty much it. So there we go. Rautism. Keith agrees with Brendan on his review, on his bin there as well. And Sally also says Louis had a heavy metal habit too. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
that handkerchief.
Yeah.
Yep. Indeed. All right. So that brings us to the end. So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Like I said, the details for us and our fantastic sponsor, Squidding Celebrity Occult Rockstar Finance, are in the description of the post. Really tuning in. So like, follow, subscribe, give this a share, a thumbs up, all the usual shit that everyone gets you to do. But that is the simplest and best way to help us get the word about this stuff out there, help us grow our online reach. And make sure you keep checking us out on television as well, because we're there for another few years. We're looking forward to the, just a quick notice, the Antenna Awards are being done September 18 as a pre-recorded special for this time around on Saturday night. September 18. We're going to do like a live watch party so we can tune in and see all the results along with you guys out there as well. So stay tuned for that one. We'll have we'll sit here live watching it, seeing what the fuck happens, because no one knows anything until we sort of get there. So we'll see how we go.
You
What
can
was
get
that?
very drunk with us.
I've hired
Yes.
a car.
You're going to wear a tux in that room with your guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
So
no,
I'll
I
get
have to get one of those tuxedo T-shirts.
Yeah.
So we'll get ourselves all frocked up. We'll sit here and have some drinks with you all on Saturday, September 18, just for a bit of fun. There'll be no reviews. It's just watching what happens with the Antenna Awards for the first time we got nominated. So we'll just see what happens. Alrighty. But that's it for now. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all again on Sunday for our next stream. Until then, I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
Tim.
Same as the open. We'll see you all again soon. Until then,
Drink up.
Rock on.
Peace.